Konnichiwa, guys. Hey, I am back. I took like a month off from doing videos. But no, I had a lot going on. My niece, she came to visit for a month, so that was fun. And then I went on a trip to Colorado. So I've been busy going around doing things. So today I'm going to try to give you guys as much information as I can. First off, I wanted to tell you guys about two great websites. One you probably already heard of. It's called Lang8, www.lang-8.com. This website's really great for making friends who are native in Japanese. I've met a lot of friends through this website. Basically, you go on, you select your native language and the language you're trying to learn. You write a journal entry in the language you're learning, and then people of the native language that you're learning will come and correct you. It's a great site. Check it out. I'll try to put it in the description below. I'll even have a caption for it right here. And then also the second website, I just stumbled upon this on accident, and it's called Memrise, www.memrise.com, memrise.com. This website, you can learn almost any language or any subject that you want, and it basically revolves around you learning vocabulary. You can select a course or a list of vocabulary that you want to learn, and it takes the theme of growing plants. You find a word, you discover it for the first time, and you discover it as a seed. And then you plant the seed, you water the seed until it grows, and then you put the seed in your garden and you keep them healthy. So it has this whole just garden theme of memorizing the words. And it's really cute because as you learn the words, once they get into your garden, you do need to constantly keep them watered. So it'll give you reminders letting you know, hey, you need to water this plant or vocabulary word before you forget it. It's a great website, and it's great for just helping you memorize a lot of vocabulary. And they also have an app. So if you have a smartphone, download their app. It's free. And it's great, and so you can learn on the go. I don't know if it's just for iPhones. I hope not. I have an iPhone. If you have like an Android or something else like that, just check your app store and see if it's there. So just Memrise, and that's it. And you should be able to search it that way. But it's great. So check out those two websites. Again, I will try to have the link in the description and the website right here in the captions. All right, so my main topic that I wanted to talk about today is verbs. Oh my God, verbs are kind of a pain in the butt, but they're easy once you decipher everything. Let's basically just go over the different names for verbs. And I know you're kind of like, what, the different names for verbs? In Japanese, verbs belong in three groups: group 1, group 2, or group 3. But these three groups are referred to differently. Depending on what resource you're using, you can hear them called different things. So for group 1, they'll be called group 1 verbs. They'll be called consonant verbs, C-stem verbs, or U-dropping verbs. Okay, so that's how you'll hear group 1 verbs referred to. Okay, a little news about these. Basically, if the verb does not end in eru or iru, it belongs to this group. However, there are some verbs that end in eru and iru and belong to this group. I'm not going to give you a list of those. You are going to have to research those and look them up yourself. But there are those ones out there, so just be aware of that. Also, there are some verbs that end in au, iu, and ou. And these ones belong to this group. No, they're not consonant ending verbs, but they are verbs that technically just end in U. So when you conjugate it, you will be just dropping a U. So it is considered a U dropping verb. Okay, so you want to be aware of those verbs that belong to this group as well. Now, group 2 verbs are referred to as group 2 verbs. Vowel conjugating verbs or vowel verbs, V-stem verbs, or ru-dropping verbs. These are all the verbs that do end in eru or iru, okay? But again, like I said, there are some of these verbs that don't belong to this group. They actually belong to the first group. Don't ask me why. I don't make the rules, but that's how it is. Okay, and then the group 3 is referred to either as group 3 verbs or irregular verbs. The great thing about this group of verbs is that there's only 2, and it's kuru and suru, which is to come, kuru, and to do, suru. All right, we're not going to be talking about that group of verbs today as far as the conjugating goes. We're just going to be focusing on group 1 and group 2. Now, it's very important when you're learning Japanese verbs that you know 1, the dictionary form, 2, the stem, and the infinitive. Okay, you need to know these 3 things. If you don't know these 3 things, it's going to make it a little difficult in conjugating your verbs. So I'm only going to use 2 verbs today with the conjugation, and that's taberu and nomu. Nomu is a group 1 verb, and taberu is a group 2 verb. So we'll be going over how to conjugate those. So let's talk about conjugating, or not conjugating, but forming the stem and the infinitive of a group 1 verb. So nomu, for example, the dictionary form of nomu is nomu. Easy, okay? The stem of nomu is nom, just N-O-M, okay? It just drops the U off. Again, U dropping verb. To form the infinitive of nomu, you drop the U and add I, and it becomes no mi. Okay? So that's how it's going to be for basically all group 1 verbs. You basically just either drop the U to create its stem, or you drop the U and add I to create its infinitive. And then it's just the way it is in the dictionary for its dictionary form. Easy. So for group 2 verbs, you just leave it in the dictionary form for the dictionary form. So, for example, taberu is taberu, period. That's how it is. Now, the great thing about group 2 verbs is that the stem and the infinitive are formed exactly the same way, and you just drop the root. So it becomes tabe for the stem and tabe for the infinitive. Very simple. Okay, so let's talk about tenses. Let's go over present tense. Present tense in Japanese is the same as it is in English. If you don't know what present tense in English is, I cannot help you at this point. Okay, at this point, I'm just like, why are you learning Japanese if you don't know English? Right? Okay, so the present tense in Japanese is the same in English, except they do use the present tense to represent future tense as well. So we don't have to learn 2 different tenses for future and present. They're the same. Okay, so let's conjugate nomu and taberu. Also know that there's the negative and the positive, meaning that you will do this, or I will do that, or I can do this, or I can do that. And then there's the plain form and the polite form. We'll go over all of these. So to conjugate nomu in the present tense, to say it in the positive plain form, it's the dictionary form, nomu, which is why the dictionary form is important. Okay, to make it negative, there are a couple rules that you need to know with making a group 1 verb negative. When you make a group 1 verb negative, you use the stem and add anai. So nomu becomes no manai. Okay, very easy. Now, there's another rule that you need to know. For those group 1 verbs that I told you that end in au, iu, or o, those ones, you would have to drop the u, add w, and then add anai on it. So I'll give you an example like think is omou. Omo, I said that kind of weird. Okay, O-M-O-U. Basically, you would drop the u, add a w, and add like anai. So it would be omowanai. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So you'll do that with those verbs that end with those endings. Okay, so that is the plain positive and the plain negative present future tense for nomu. Okay, or basically your group 1 verbs. That's how you would conjugate it. Now for taberu, for our group 2 verbs, those are very easy. the dictionary of the positive plain form is Taba Do. Very easy. Now with group 2 verbs, all of them you use the stem or the infinitive and you add nai for all of them. There's no trick. So it becomes taberu, becomes tabenai. All right? So let's go over our words. Group 1, plain and positive, is nomu and nomanai. Nomanai. Okay? And then the plain positive and negative for taberu is taberu and tabenai. Very easy. Now, if you want to make it polite, which is probably how most of you have already learned how to say these verbs, for group 1 and group 2, if you just think of it this way, you use the stem for both group 1 and group 2 verbs, and you just add mas. Okay? Oh, wait, I meant not the stem, but use the infinitive. Okay? You will see some books tell you to use the stem for group 1 and add imas. I think that gets confused. So use the infinitive for group 1 and group 2 and add mas. So you get nomimas and tabemas. Easy. Nomimas, tabemas. Now, to make it negative, we all know that the negative of mas is masen. So it's the same rule. Nomimasen, tabemasen. Easy. So those are the polite ways of saying it. So present tense, plain, positive, negative is nomu, taberu, nomanai, and tabenai. The polite positive negative of the present tense is nomimas, tabemas. Nomimasen, tabemasen. Easy. Okay? Now, let's talk about past tense. My head is already hurting. Okay? You need to know a couple rules for changing group 1 verbs into past tense. Okay? This is going to be the ta form. Okay? You need to know this. This is really important to know, especially when you get to the te form of verbs. All right? Because you just basically take this form and end it in te instead of ta when you get to the te form. But let's go over it. If you are working with a u stem verb that ends with just a u, meaning our au and our eu and our ou verbs, you basically just add tta, okay? And also if the verb ends in su or ru, okay? But only in the C stem, okay? This is only group 1. Okay, so if it ends in u, tsu, or ru, you add t, t, a. Okay, so for example, omou becomes omota. Okay, now if the group 1 verb ends in mu, nu, or bu, you're going to add nda. So for example, no mu becomes nonda, nonda. Okay. If the group 1 verb ends with ku, it's going to get ita. So, for example, kiku becomes kita. Okay? If the verb in group 1 ends in gu, it will be changed to ida. So, for example, oyogu becomes oyoida, which is to swim. So you swim, you swam, okay? If it ends in su, it becomes shita at the end. So if you have the verb say hanasu, it becomes hanashita, which is to talk or speak. So you talk, you talked. So there's the difference, making it present to past. Okay? So that's all you have to know for group 1 verbs and conjugating it to the past tense. Group 2 verbs are easy as pie, okay? They're super, super easy to conjugate because you just use the stem or the infinitive and put ta on the end. That's it. It is very simple to conjugate past tense of group 2 verbs. So for the plain past tense of nomu and taberu, it becomes nonda and tabeta. Very easy. Now, the rule for the negative form for both of these are the same as in the present tense, except it's not going to be anai, it's going to be anakata. So you add that a in the beginning, okay? Anakata for group 1, and then it's just nakata for group 2. Okay, so you get nomanakata and tabenakata for the negative past tense. Now, the polite tense of these verbs are really easy too. You end it, it's going to be the past tense of mas. If you should know that. Hopefully you already know that. So just as you added imas to the present polite, you'll now add nomimashita for the past polite tense. And then it would be tabemashita for the positive polite past tense. Now, to make it negative, it becomes nomimasen deshita. Okay, and then for taberu, it becomes tabemasen deshita. Okay, so I hope that wasn't too jumbled together. If anything was unclear, definitely leave a comment, let me know, ask me questions. If you want me to conjugate any other forms or any other words, request me to do a video, and I'll get around to doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a lot of information, but learn those verbs because it will open up a whole world of how to say different things in Japanese. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll say sayonara.